And then in February, we'll start looking at building the White House card, which I will right now tell you will be the greatest fight card ever assembled in the history of definitely this company.
Okay, so the UFC White House card was finally revealed, and I can't help but feel like this card is a little bit underwhelming. Don't get me wrong, we have Ilia Topuria and Alex Pereira, two of, if not the biggest names in this sport, on the same card. For what it is, it's good, and Fight Week is going to be amazing. But the fact just is, the context surrounding the events, the fights, and what it did to the UFC matchmaking for the past year call into question the quality of the events and fights. But first, let's talk about the matchups. Diego Lopes versus Steve Garcia. This fight, I'm pretty excited about. Garcia has gotten 6 knockouts in his last 7 fights, and Diego Lopes is Diego Lopes. He fights like a tap-out era fighter, and this match is going to be an absolute barn burner. Great fight to start off the card. I'm happy with this matchup. No complaints from me here. What the fuck is this fight? Oh, my bad. Frick. There's only 6 spots on the White House card, and you give it to 2 unranked middleweights? Bo Nickal? And a guy who has barely been in the UFC for 6 months at this point? It was obvious that we were going to get Bo Nickal on the UFC card, but couldn't it have been against a better opponent? I would have preferred something like Bo Nickal versus Colby Covington, or something better than some random UFC guy. This fight is going to stop the momentum of the card more than an unranked WMMA fight. Hard? Flaccid. Hard? Flaccid. My pants are getting tight. I got left on red. She said come over. Look, man, as one of the 4 Michael Chandler fans in this world, I love this fight. Guaranteed scrap, guaranteed finish. It's going to be pure fireworks. For the minute it's going to last. Look, I'm just going to be honest. My goat is washed and has been for a while. He will be 40 by the time this card hits. I do honestly believe that Chandler deserved this spot in the rankings when he joined the UFC, but he did come really late into his career and purely fought the best in his division. He took too much time off for the Conor McGregor fights. That will probably never happen, but at least he got AliExpress Conor. Maybe all those training camps preparing for McGregor will come in handy, but Ruffy really is just that good, and I still do believe in the fighting nerds hype train. Great fight, even if a little too lamb to the slaughter for me. Even if I'm feeling like Chandler will fluke this fight for some reason.
Khabib, I'm coming for you!
Sean O'Malley versus Eamon Zahabi. I don't really like this fight at all. Zahabi went to war for a split decision against Marlon Vera. This is going to be a repeat of O'Malley's Cheeto title defense. Except with a knockout because Zahabi doesn't have Vera's iron chin. What about Sandhagen? I feel like this would have raised the stock of this card so much more. That's an amazing featured fight. I know what they're going for, another viral knockout O'Malley moment, but this fight just feels so mismatched. Another layup for O'Malley so they can justify another title shot for Sean. I'm a fan of O'Malley, but I'm just not a fan of this matchup, as well as a lot of the MMA fan base. Obviously, I don't think it's Sean's fault if the UFC calls, you pick up.
A lot of people are complaining that it wasn't Umar or Curry Sandhagen. Like I said, we don't make those choices. We don't make those choices. You don't know what the UFC's thinking. There's people that they've given big opportunities before too. Big opportunities. And they don't capitalize on the opportunities. But like I said, we had no choice. We have no choice. The UFC comes with us an offer. We say yes. And that's what happened.
Alex Pereira versus Gane. Man, if Gane wins, don't come to school tomorrow. I'm kidding, obviously, but I was depressed for a solid minute when Alex lost against Nickal. I love me an Alex Pereira fight, but seeing Ciro Gane right next to him just feels ill. How does Gane keep getting these infinite title shots? This fight does make sense, but I just hate Ciro Gane. I don't think having an equally competitive round with someone means you would have beat them. And I do think Alex will get it done against Ciro Gane, even if Alex Pereira versus Tom Aspinall breaks my soul. I also just can't shake the feeling that this fight was actually supposed to be Alex Pereira versus John Jones. I know Dana's currently talking about how John Jones was never truly considered to be on the White House, but I don't believe Baldy here. Everything that Jones is saying, along with how everyone is talking about the fights as they were put on last minute, and how many of them just verbally consented to being put on the card, and how that was enough for them to be on the card even days before the official announcement.
2 days ago, I got a call and they said, you're definitely not fighting on the White House card. So I was like,
Wow, really?
cool.
Okay.
And then yesterday I got a call and they said, you might hear something. You might be on the White House card. And I was like, how are you going to go complete 180 turn on me? And then today I found out that I was on it. I didn't know if I was main event.
Really? Oh, so it was a big secret. Even the fighters really didn't know.
Look, I'm all for not letting a cheating, steroid-abusing, wife-beating criminal compete at the White House as much as he would fit in, but I'm also all for seeing Jones palms up on the canvas in front of the world and being by Alex Pereira of all people, because I do think he would beat him, especially with all the preparation he did with Nickal. Alex versus Jones would have been the perfect super fight for the White House. But there's another super fight we're never going to get. The last super fight we've had in the UFC is all the way back in 2023 with Islam versus Volk, 3 years ago. I really do wonder if this is how John Jones' legacy in the UFC ends, ducking Tom Aspinall and doing this whole marketing campaign online to get on the White House, only to not get put in and have a petty feud with Dana. Somehow, I doubt it. I can't help but shake the feeling that John might return if Alex does beat Tom after beating Gane. Jones seeing Alex is probably an easier fight than Tom, although I don't mind taking John Jones acting like a schoolgirl who just got broken up with.
I'm so pissed off.
And the main event of the White House, Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje. I'm not one to do MMA math, but let's just look at the facts. Ilia has a win over Charles and Max Holloway, who both have wins over Justin Gaethje. Charles recently put on a clinic on Max Holloway for 25 minutes, Charles being Ilia's most recent title defense, who he knocked out in 1 minute. This fight is just too predictable. This fight should have been made, but the outcome is obvious. I feel like everyone already knows how this is going to end, and I don't have to explain it more than Justin's going to be palms up on the canvas. So in total, we have an interim heavyweight fight between Alex Pereira and Cyril fucking Gane, 2 layups, a bone nickel fight, and 2 absolute scraps. Best card of all time? No, not even close. It's honestly a little disappointing because for almost a year straight, we have been fed this story that this will be the biggest and baddest card of all time. They said the same thing for the Sphere, and we all saw how that turned out. So we honestly should have predicted this. But is this really the point we're at with? Just expect to be disappointed? This is probably the biggest card we're going to have until UFC 400. And I feel like UFC 327 in Miami is more stacked. Sure, the main and the co-main of the White House are great, but the main event of a card is supposed to be good, as well as the co-main. Don't get me wrong, Ilia Topuria and Alex Pereira are some of my favorite fighters of all time. And both of them being in the main and co-main is great, but we all expected that to be good anyway. Look, I'm glad it's not a WMMA title fight in the main event, but I'm the kind of fan who, when I hear about a new card, I don't care much about the main event because, again, it's supposed to be good. But I care more about what does the co-main look like? What does the rest of the card look like? What do the prelims look like? If your card of the year at the White House is being mocked by a card in Miami you were putting on 2 months beforehand, there might be some problems with it. I didn't believe for a second there was going to be 6 title fights, but I expect this to be just a little bit more better. It's strange too, as the UFC matchmaking has been really lacking lately. The fights recently have just been so mediocre, and the matchups questionable. The best fight we got in the first quarter of the year is Charles versus Holloway 2. An exciting fight to be announced, for sure. But that fight didn't even deliver too well. So many fighters since the announcement of the White House, all the way from the middle of last year, have been begging and holding off on fights to be put onto the White House card. I understand security and needing a low number of fights, but are you telling me they were short on potential matchups for this card? Are they still trying to cheap out on fights on us on the White House card of all things?
You want me to gates and secondary sales? They don't usually put me on UFC 200 or 300 or the Sphere. They usually put me on UFC 201 or 301. You know, like a double sale thing. That's the White House is going to hit no matter what. Who the fuck gives a fuck who we put on it? And then wheel McGregor out for the second one. So we double our economic take. We can't decide what these men do, you know, and I don't want to. They, you know, I don't doubt them. It's like in this current climate, we're all cattle. Yeah, all these fighters were all cattle. I just happen to be free range. I'm like Wagyu walking around the fucking farm.
I do think they will probably add one more fight to the card since one fight already fell out. I don't think there will be anything too big, but even if they don't, I do think overall the White House card will be fun. As an event, I'm interested to see how it actually turn out. I feel like having government-approved attendance will suck. The atmosphere, while I don't doubt will be grand, is going to be dead, silent, and boring. Even if there's a knockout or something, I don't think there will be that pop-off and oomph from the audience we're used to. For what it is, it's good. I feel like the closer and closer we get to fight week, the more excited we'll be for this card. Even if some of the fights feel and they're easily predictable. I mean, just look at this. Everyone on the left side is going to win. I won't lie though, I can't wait to have this whole White House card business behind us. Anyways, what do you guys think? Is this fight card actually good? Is it missing another fight? Could we have done something else with this card? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and like the video if you like the video. I'll see you for the casuals in the next one. Peace!
Obviously everybody wants to fight on that card. And that's a good thing because we're going to put on the best card we've ever done for that White House event.
Holy shit, Dana.
Imagine, just think about what I'm going to do for this fight, and then think about what Trump is going to do for this fight. You know what I mean? It's going to be it's a one-of-one experience. Like when we did the Sphere, it's the Sphere on steroids. I mean, it's going to be a one-of-one event. There'll be nothing like it ever again.